Okay, so continuing the discussion with regards to someone who wants to assert their Jewish identity today, and we traced this through from the Gemara to the Rishonim to the Aharonim and to nowadays. We ended off last time saying that although the strict halakha seems to be that a person who turns up as a Jewish is believed in the times of the Gemara and the times of the Rishonim, nowadays that's not accepted for various reasons we discussed last time. And therefore, in practice, let's just talk about practical things first. This has numerous ramifications. Firstly, for marriage. Clearly, marriage is the most important issue here because of Yochasin. This is the whole issue we're dealing with in this chapter. The concept of lineage and the concept of continuing through the Jewish line. So clearly for marriage, a person who turns up and says, I want to get married, and he wants the rabbi and the Beit Din to authorize the marriage, then that would not be accepted nowadays without some kind of proof. Again, what proof we need to discuss. But certainly with some proof is needed in order to get married. Secondly and importantly, with regards to membership in a community, if a person turns up to a community and says they want to be part of the community, so I can only talk for the United Kingdom. The policy in the United Kingdom is that any person who is a member of an Orthodox synagogue is assumed to be Jewish. That means Bati Din work in collaboration in the UK, in which if a person is a member of the United Synagogue, of the Spanish Portuguese, of the Federation, of another community, which is an Orthodox community, and they've been a member of that synagogue, they've been accepted, then that is assumed as being proof of their Jewish identity, because Bati Din across the United Kingdom work on the assumption that if someone has been accepted as a member of a Orthodox community in the UK, then this is in regular circumstances. Of course, there are specific scenarios, situations where it may be different, but generally speaking, this is 99% of cases, that if a person comes to get married and they can show that they're a member of a Orthodox community, then that will be enough. That will suffice to show that they're Jewish and to be accepted into another community or to get married. And this is why in the United Kingdom, to be a member of a synagogue, one needs to, all Bati Din ask for verification to prove their Jewish identity, because it's not just, you could say all of this we discussed is about marriage, but membership of a community, etc., why we need to be so strict? And the answer is because membership of a community nowadays is used as a means to prove a person's Jewish identity. And therefore, in terms of being part of a member, applying to be a member of a community and being accepted, well, nowadays in the United Kingdom, one needs to prove their Jewish identity. How it works in America and other places, I don't know. It's not so straightforward in other countries, but that's certainly the case in the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth countries. The other thing to be aware of is with regards to cemeteries. So in terms of burying someone, so here, although of course there needs to be some kind of proof of Jewish identity, but here normally Bati Din will take a less strict approach with regards to burying someone. If someone just wants to be buried in a Jewish cemetery and hasn't been a member of a community, so we can't use that as proof of the Jewish identity. And this often happens, people from the Middle East who don't have the ketubah, don't have any proof, and moved to England and never really became part of the community, but lived a Jewish life. So here again will be much more lenient in terms of what proof is needed. When we get to discuss the proofs, we'll see a far lower level of proof is needed when it comes to Jewish cemeteries. And this is why one can't rely on the fact that a person is buried in a Jewish cemetery to prove that her children are Jewish. That's not it can help a lot, but that in itself normally won't suffice to prove someone's Jewish identity, because one can't bring a proof from burial where the issue is far less severe and important than that of marriage. And so that's an important point to bear in mind. We'll turn next time to a Russian Jewry, an Ethiopian Jewry, and then talk about what proof is indeed acceptable nowadays.